It's season 3 of Couple Chat,
where we're talking Stranger Things from the first shadow all the way to the series finale.
Stay tuned to find out. Hello and welcome to Couple Chat,
where we
parents
discuss topics for you.
Parents. I'm Matt.
I'm Jackie. Let's chat. A lot's happened.
In many ways.
We're back, which is cool. And we have had crazy past couple months, but the most recent thing was Stranger Things season 5 series finale. And
season 5.
Series finale.
I'm just saying the whole thing.
Yeah, series finale, whole thing, season 5, all of it.
Yeah.
We also, for our dating anniversary, went into the city and saw the Stranger Things Broadway show, The First Shadow, which is where our fantastic merch is from today.
Yes.
And, yeah, I am very glad that you surprised me with that for our anniversary, because you are always like the dating anniversary, surprise maker. And
I'm just the surprise maker, not just the dating anniversary.
Yeah. Anyway.
I mean, it was just perfect timing.
Right?
Like, Volume 1 came out, and social media put it on to me. And I was like, I knew about it, but didn't think anything of it. And I heard it was good. I know it started on the West End, and I was like, oh yeah, it's on Broadway now. Watched the trailer, and that was pretty much it. Once I watched that trailer, I was like, yes.
I'm shocked you even watched the trailer, to be honest, because there are a lot of spoilers. Like, once we saw the show, it was like, I watched the trailer, and we were just like, oh my gosh, like they show so much.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's wild. But yeah, they got you hook, line, and sinker, man. And it was worth it. Like, It was so cool. It was very immersive. It's cool because we actually watched the documentary also after the fact.
Right.
And we actually watched the documentary on New Year's Eve because we were trying to avoid watching the series finale before we were scheduled to go see it at the theater, because we got tickets to see it at the movies.
And we were trying to avoid spoilers heavily.
Yeah.
There was a reel on Instagram, I don't know if you saw, where a guy's dancing. And it's like, when you can finally reopen Instagram and watch all your Stranger Things reels.
Well, yeah, when you can finally open Instagram and you don't have to be worried about Stranger Things being...
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, everything was being spoiled. As soon as we got onto Instagram, it was reel after reel after reel of spoilers.
It's worse than it has ever been with social media.
Yeah.
And like a show or a movie or anything like that. Like, I remember when Endgame came out, even the Russos put out a video that was like, don't spoil it.
Yeah.
Don't spoil it for anyone.
Yeah.
And they kept that going for a good amount of time, even on social media, and people were being very respectful of that.
Yeah.
I'm sure they probably would have gotten reported if they didn't, but
I don't know, man. It was one of those things. But yeah. So we saw The First Shadow on Broadway, we watched the documentary, and we saw a lot in that too. It was like, ooh, if you've seen the show, you know what part they're talking about, and like the way that the effects were and what have you. But what was cool about the documentary was they showed that the production designers were actually involved in Cursed Child on Broadway also.
Oh yeah.
And that like blew my mind. I was like, man, the tech part of everything was so cool, and the effects and this and that and the other. And then we're watching this documentary and they're like, yeah, we worked on Cursed Child, and I was just like, of course you did.
Yeah.
Of course you did, because that is also a highly technical show that has blown the minds off of people every night, multiple times a week, because of the tech part of that show, like the magic and everything about it. And then to bring it into Stranger Things, and it's just, yeah, they took it up another notch, which is really cool. And the documentary just like gives you so much more on it, like the prep and being a theater person, like seeing how it goes from you know, the reading of the script and kind of like workshops and rehearsals, and then finally casting and rehearsing, and how they're still cutting stuff before or during previews. It was crazy to me.
They went further than I've ever seen a show go. Like when it came to changes up to almost the opening night of.
Yeah.
Like, it was insane.
Yeah.
The Duffers came, during previews.
It was the first night of previews.
Was it? Mm-hmm. And they totally...
The show is different.
Yeah, totally changed.
By opening night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, that happened a lot throughout the production process. And, yeah. But it was really cool. I mean, and I'm glad we watched it because it really gave us more insight on the show and what they went through, how the West End version was in comparison to what you now are going to go see on Broadway. But yeah, I mean, what's interesting now too is after seeing the series finale, we were hoping they would touch upon First Shadow more.
Yeah.
And they didn't. They hinted.
Very brief.
Yeah.
It was a little scratch on the surface.
Right.
And there was so much opportunity for them to do it.
Yeah.
But it's like it was kind of like a parallel universe to the First Shadow. It didn't feel like everything was connecting like it could have.
I don't know, but I guess they just didn't want to take the momentum away from the storyline of the show, right? And they already had so many doors to close that to add in more context to First Shadow would be too much. No,
but it would have been cool, I think, for those who had seen the Broadway show, like a little nod.
I know what you're talking about.
You know?
You're talking about Patty Newby, and that's fine. I'm with you. The nod could have been done easily.
Easily.
And honestly, one of the things that bothered me the most, especially for canon purposes, is the fact that Vecna goes into Hopper's mind at one point, and there's no connection. Like, it's not like Hopper is like, I know you were never always like whatever, you know, and
there's no acknowledgement of it.
Vecna or Henry or whatever you want to call him.
Whatever.
Too many names. He doesn't make the acknowledgement either.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, for Joyce to be the one that gives the killing blow, right?
We're getting into spoiler territory.
So, I mean, we
didn't say spoilers.
I anticipated this was just spoilers.
Yeah. No, it's fine. I'm just saying, like, we didn't state that at all.
I mean, we will put up a post on social media so that you guys know that this is a spoiler. I personally, like, if you're gonna listen to a podcast, we're gonna talk about stuff.
Yeah.
We've tried to stray away from spoilers in the past with things, and I feel like it just doesn't lead to an interesting conversation.
Yeah. No, I'm down. I'm just like.
And we just mentioned, too, like, social media isn't even holding back this time.
I know.
So
they're not.
It's whatever.
Yeah. Anyway.
So, and then Joyce giving the killing blow to Vecna, it's like, I just wanted him to turn and just gargle and be like, Joyce, like, you remember me, or just something like that.
Or like him trying to get into her head and like.
Right. Like, one last moment
flashback.
where that would have. Dude, how sick would it have been if he jumped in her mind right at the end, not to like F with her.
Just like to show her who he is.
Just to say like goodbye and like that he's sorry for what he did to her son.
I don't think he was.
I don't know.
That's the problem.
But maybe right there at the end, because even Jamie Campbell Bower said in I don't know if it was an interview or something that we watched after the finale, but he stated that he wanted that last moment to be him kind of crying out for help. Like that was like that last.
Yeah, but I don't think it was a necessary like crying out for help. Like, I'm sorry, help. I think it was more so like,
please don't kill me.
Like, you can't do this. Like, don't do this. I'm stronger than you. You can't do that. Because then he starts growling at her. He's like, and then she starts cutting herself. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's hard to say.
I mean, it was just a missed opportunity. Like, they didn't need to go deeper into it, I guess. But either way, if you see the first shadow, you're going to get a lot more context. And
Right, but that's the thing. Why did Joyce and Hopper not remember?
I mean, realistically, Joyce spent more time with Henry.
Right.
But he was technically never the lead in her show.
Yes, he was.
He wasn't when the show finally opened.
Yes, he was.
He wasn't. He wasn't there.
Oh, no, because they made Bob do it. But he was the lead until like 2 minutes to curtain.
Sure. But I'm saying he wasn't there.
No, but I'm saying like they were in rehearsals for how many months,
No,
weeks,
I got you.
whatever.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, it's like us. It's been, I mean, not as long as them, but it's been 10 plus years since college. I mean, it's not like we just forget people.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
For them, it's been 30 years since high school. Like, how do you not remember this kid that just...
Not only
that there was this conspiracy theory about his dad
Yeah.
and the town and all this stuff happening, and then all of a sudden you're
Yeah.
just like, poof, I don't remember
Conspiracy
him.
theory, his dad was convicted of murder.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, the fact that they're claiming his dad did it
Right.
and everything that happened with their dad. And it's just like the newbie dad, like newbie,
The principal.
the principal newbie. Like, there's just so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
The
much.
first shadow opens up a lot of plot holes.
Yeah.
But if you never see it, I guess you wouldn't know about them. But like, again, certain things are touched upon. So it's like they show a scene from when they're in high school and Joyce is giving out the flyers for her show. They finally showed a little bit of the show.
Right before she falls.
Yeah. I know.
Right before she falls, dude. So mad.
Yeah.
They could have just shown her fall.
Yeah.
Or
It
just,
would have
like,
been just too much to be like,
anything.
why is this girl getting hurt and what happened? Like, then they would have had to explain the whole show. And it's like,
Yeah.
Anyway. So if you haven't seen the first shadow and you're reeling for more Stranger Things, go see it.
Yeah.
It's on Broadway.
It's definitely worth it.
Yeah. But anyway, so we saw First Shadow in between Volume 1 and Volume 2. Volume 1, since we didn't talk about it at all, just our opinions on it. I would say most of it was okay.
Sorcerer just blew it out of the water.
Sorcerer was a really nice cap to Volume 1.
Yeah.
And still, to me, one of my favorite episodes in the series. Like, I'd go back to that episode regardless of what happens at the end of the series, regardless of what happened before, and just watch that episode. I think it's really well done. And Vecna's reveal. Of course, Will and his powers at the end, great moment. But Vecna's reveal is just so stellar and well done. And I was jaw dropped. I think that's about the only moment this season where I was legitimately jaw dropped and like a slew of emotions went through me. Like, I was excited. I was fearful. For the characters, of course.
Right.
I was, I don't know, just emotional. Like it's a big moment. And when he comes out and he like shows the extent of his powers since the last time we saw him.
Yeah.
It was really well done.
I agree. I just think it's funny that like the soldiers are all like, they're just moseying around there. Like, they're just, like, collecting samples, and it's like, haha, we're in the Upside Down. This is kind of cool. And then Vecna just shows up and, like, doesn't even bother those guys. Just, like, comes out in the maxi and, like, destroys all of them.
Well, because he has no interest in what the military is doing. He wants the children.
Right.
That's the only reason why he comes there.
Yeah.
And after seeing everything, it's interesting. It's interesting to see where his plan goes and how he takes the children anyway, and you know, they kind of fail in the beginning.
Yeah.
Even though Will's powers open up, they fail in the beginning.
Yeah.
Right. And by the end of volume 2, they're kind of on their road to success.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I thought volume 1 was probably the strongest moment.
Yeah.
In this series. And
in
this season.
We rushed through volume 2 because we tried to binge watch that late on Christmas Day.
Right.
And that was a lot.
Yeah. But we did it.
We didn't go back and watch anything, though. I wish we kind of did.
To.
Because then we did predictions, and, like, there's the one scene at the end of volume 2 that was, like, showing you the whole plan. And if we had just looked at that, like, some of our predictions just may have been different.
Right.
But, yeah, so Matt does this thing where he makes a list of, like, what do you think is going to happen in, like, the last season or the last episode or whatever. We've done this with series like Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad,
Better Call
Saul. Like, just like, you know, where do you think this character will end up, or what, you know, what do you think will happen, or in this case, like, who do you think will kill Vecna, things like that. And we recorded that at the movies in the parking lot, pre and post seeing the series finale. I think we were both pleasantly surprised with certain things.
Were we?
With certain things that we were right about.
I feel as though I was disappointed that I was right.
Right. And that's the thing. You guessed the... I'm having trouble, like, really picking a good word for it, but, like, the easy way, the expected way, the way to please everyone, or the majority, the safe way. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I get you wanted your characters to have a final arc. I get you wanted certain characters to have a final interaction, like, oh, you know, Jonathan saving Steve. It's like, no, this isn't right. Like, someone needed to die. Someone important. Like, someone, unfortunately, someone in the party should have died. And Elle doesn't count.
Yeah.
Because she wasn't in the original party.
Well, she is. She's the mage.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like...
The stakes... You can create stakes like this that are so high, higher than life itself, supernatural, unrealistic. You can't do that and then expect everyone to come out of this unscathed.
Yeah.
No one was even hurt this time around.
No.
You know, it's just that type of thing where, like, I know we're in a fantastical sci-fi type of world here, and, like, yeah, sure, but, like, these are still normal people in these situations, and they, aside from 11 and now Will, no one else has, like, supernatural abilities, and as far as we know, no one has the ability to be invincible, or even Elle, you know, like, so when you set that up and there's that expectation, there needs to be follow through. Yeah. Like, I was talking about this with my friend Justin through text only, but I wanted to state this here because I knew we were going to be talking about this. But there has been moments throughout this series where we are robbed of emotional depth to the characters, to the story, and it's unfortunate because the Duffers have created a brilliant world. Yeah. And I love it, and that's what keeps me going. Like, season 4 is to me my favorite because of how much world building they did, and creating the Vecna character, and having him affect the past and now the future, and how Stranger Things came together. I love all that kind of stuff. It's just, you know, what I eat up, right? But the emotional moments throughout the series that were taken away that should have just stayed starts for me in season 3 with Hopper. Yeah. Hopper, that whole thing, rewatching the series when we did. Yeah. it's an emotional moment, and then it's taken away from us because we know that he survives.
Right.
And it's one of those things where it's like you start thinking about like, well, why did he survive? And what was the point of his character after that?
Right.
I mean, if you really look at it, they tried to find something for him to do, but realistically, he doesn't have much of a story after that. He had a brilliant arc in season 3.
Mm-hmm.
He was a father that was trying to protect his daughter, and eventually came to the moment where he realized he was being overbearing and he needed to let her go a little bit.
Yeah.
And he dies. Great, perfect, great arc for him.
Right.
And then again in season 4, Max went through so much near death experiences. Mm-hmm. She should have died at that ending.
Yeah.
That would have been the fuel for them in the final season to fight Vecna. That would have had them all on edge and this grit about them. Kind of like they did with Dustin and Eddie. But Eddie was this new character that, he was a fine character. But this is what the Duffers do too. They bring in a new character that season and yeah, exactly. And you should just expect them to not make it out.
You should just expect them to die.
Yeah.
And it's funny because they bring in season 3, they brought in Kali, but they didn't kill her until season 5.
No, she's in season 2.
Oh, she's in season 2. See? Even more annoying. You bring her in season 2, she disappears, and then you bring her back.
But they brought
just
her
to kill her?
Pretty much. They brought her back for no real reason.
Yeah.
Just to give some more context to Elle and to have her, a little unbalanced. So like we weren't sure what she was going to do.
Yeah.
And then, they make up this whole crazy thing with Mike where he believes she might still be alive. So now we have to think that too. And it's like, but anyway, and then, so that being the fuel. And then once they get to this end game and Steve falls off that tower and he dies, that's it. That's like the final nail in the coffin for them. Now they're amped up. They're emotional. They're angry. Mm-hmm. So when they fight Vecna, there's more to it.
There's more at stake.
And then that moment where Joyce is just destroying Vecna, and they show those flashbacks as they go to every character, then those moments we would have felt something.
Yeah.
When they show Lucas and he's holding Max, she didn't die there. So why are we seeing that? It didn't do anything for me anyway.
Yeah.
They show that moment. It's like, yeah, she's alive. She's alive right now in a wheelchair back in Hawkins doing nothing, like useless. They did the whole Holly thing this season, but again, they just worked her in. Mm-hmm. I felt like this whole season, it was just like Max was just there. She was just there to be there because they kept her alive.
Yeah.
And then, they just go through everybody, and it's just like each moment just felt, it was like they were reiterating that they didn't kill anyone and then they robbed us of people. Yeah. Except like Barb and Bob. And it's like, yeah, cool. You killed off these couple of characters ages ago that, yeah, sure, maybe we care a little bit about, but you didn't give us enough emotional depth in those characters anyway.
I feel like Eddie and Bob had a lot more time than Barb. Barb was only in 2 episodes.
For sure. But she was phenomenal in what she did.
Oh, yeah. Shannon's amazing.
Yeah. And Natalia Dyer does such a great job, like, grieving over her throughout the first 2 seasons. But, again, it's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's my biggest gripe with this series. And granted, the finale has a lot of flaws. The last season has a lot of flaws. But I did enjoy it. Mm-hmm. And I walked out of that theater, I guess not as upset as I have been with past shows or movies that get to this big, moment.
Yeah.
Where you're at the precipice, I guess because I knew what I was going to get.
Well, it's funny because like, the reaction in the theater, like you're in the beginning going, woo, so excited. And like crickets.
I know. It was such a bad audience. It's like, why go to the movies to see something like this if you're going to get people who just sit at home and stream?
Yeah.
And don't react to anything.
But then when everything happens with Steve, they're all like, "Oh, no,
I know.
oh my
Yeah.
God." And then he's there. And then, you
Did
know,
anyone think he wasn't going to survive that moment?
once it goes black, like, come on, guys. How much TV have you seen?
How much of this show have you seen?
Yeah. But then when Elle dies, everyone in the theater is like, and like you hear everyone like audibly crying.
Yeah.
And it's like, but like I couldn't like get totally behind that reaction.
Yeah.
I was upset and I was like, oh man, if this is real, like this sucks.
Yeah, but isn't it sad that you have to even ask yourself that?
Yeah.
Like, is this
At
real?
the moment it was sad. And
Sure.
it wasn't like, oh, is this real in the moment? But then afterwards it was like,
Yeah.
Mike's really looking too deep into that subwoofer right there. Why is he looking at that speaker like
Yeah.
mouth breather, looking at it like something's going on with that speaker? Like,
Yeah.
I can't. I don't know, man. It's just, it's TV now. No one wants to kill off characters. Like George R. R. Martin does it, and everyone got pissed off when he did it. And
But not really. I think eventually that became like Game of Thrones shtick.
Yeah.
So it's like everybody wanted to see that happen until the final season.
right, because the final season books aren't out yet, so everyone's like, this. We don't know about this. Like, we didn't see it before it happened.
Right.
We needed to know first.
I don't know, man. But to be honest, and I've said this to you before, and I'll say it again on here, I am not a huge fan of how rushed the final season of Game of Thrones is.
Yeah.
But I don't think that the finale was far-fetched at all.
No.
I agree with what happened, and I'm fine with Jon killing Daenerys. I think that that's exactly what was being built up throughout the series.
Yeah, and you saw her whittling away. You saw it getting worse and worse for her and harder for her to handle owning dragons.
Yeah.
And being in charge.
Listen, man, as a parent, we say it all the time. It is hard to break cycles.
Yeah.
It is hard. And the fact that she tried and she got close is more than most people can say.
Yeah.
So, you know, the fact that she eventually succumbed to her lineage and basically realized she could be as terrifying and powerful as her father.
Right.
I mean, Jon knew that he had to follow through with his lineage and be a Stark, not a Targaryen. You know, like it was poetic and it made sense and it felt right.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah.
But Stranger Things is over and it was emotional. I think the moments that were more real and more and human and focused on these characters and them growing up.
Yeah.
Those were the moments that were really hitting home.
Yeah.
Like when they put their books back on the shelf. I mean, that was something. That was something. The whole last scene, aside from the whole LBS,
Yeah.
that was really, really well done. And you know, and the Duffers have been saying this for a while now, but they're like, yeah, we've always known like what the last scene was going to be. Yeah, because it's the first scene.
Yeah.
Like, of course,
It's a
you guys
bookend.
know. Yeah, but it's great, and I love that, you know, like they do the whole, you know, new generation thing where Holly comes down with her friends and whatever, and you know, like it was well done and beautiful, and I appreciate them for that.
Yeah.
And it makes me, you know, it makes me happy with where it ultimately ended.
Yeah.
But, you know, just we tripped along the way. But, you know, here we are.
Yeah.
Anything else that you could think of or want to touch upon in the finale or even like foreshadow in connection to things, or what else in the series you would have liked to have seen?
I think just more so, more connection to foreshadow, but I get it. Because then if they do too much, no one's going to be able to, like, you have to see one to know the other.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they don't want to ruin that experience for people and or this experience for people.
Sure.
They wanted you to get the full picture. Yeah. They wanted you to get all the content. And I think by having the glimpses of the show in the TV series finale, it was like, oh, like we were so excited. I was like, yeah, we're gonna see her. We're gonna see her fall. We're gonna see something happen.
Right.
The disappointment, like just seeing a shadow or like a puppet
first
fall,
shadow,
or at the end of the episode, like I said, when that, and it's just too much of a coincidence.
Yeah,
that she's woman. Singing this song and she looks very much like what Patty Newby, I would assume, would look like.
Yeah, or
in that time frame.
Or the mother, you know, like that woman could have been like the mother that she's searching for throughout the series or throughout the show.
Right.
And it's also like, why do that? Why have that specific moment in the series finale,
right,
without calling back to First Shadow, where First Shadow, not a musical, but has musical elements in it, and this woman is like a showgirl kind of thing, and that's how Patty discovers her. Why have that moment in Hawkins of all places?
But why not have Patty be the one coming back to do that?
But that's what I'm saying. Like
if she was just limping over the microphone, that would have been enough for me. That would have been enough for me. Because it wouldn't have mattered if it was confirmed it was Patty. The limp would have been enough.
Well, it's so many years later. Who knows? Maybe she's fine. But like you said, it would have been interesting if like Hopper or Joyce, you know, looked over and was like, oh, Patty, thank you, you know, or something like that. Yeah. Like, that's all we needed for us to know, like, oh, that's Patty Newby, no way. Yeah.
I can't.
I don't know, dude.
And then, you mentioned, too, Hopper's chief again?
Hopper? Yeah.
Like,
Well, that's the biggest, you know, so, like, the emotional depth and how the characters are just, you know, have terrible plot armor. The other problem is this whole military gloss over.
I honestly think it's all a cover up, because if they didn't cover it up, if the military didn't cover it up, if Kay didn't just disappear,
right,
something a lot bigger and worse could have happened.
But why couldn't we get some context to that?
Absolutely. And I think because of what's happened in Hawkins in the past with the lab and the paperwork they had to sign and whatever, like, I think it's just the government trying to be like, all right, let's, you know, X out all these files and pretend that no one is going to be any the wiser, even the people that signed the NDAs. Like, it's just, that was, okay, it's small town in Indiana. No one's going to give a hoot. We're just going to pack up and leave and act like nothing happened.
Right.
And hope that people forget. And the people who were here, who were involved, will sign a thing and not even get a slap on the wrist. Because if we do, that becomes public record. And then people are going to get curious.
Yeah.
You know? Like, if
it's
Nancy
like the project.
That's what I mean. But if Nancy was arrested for the stuff she did, or if the whole party was tried and convicted or whatever of killing all those military people and pregnant women, like...
Pregnant women.
Did we know the pregnant women were there? Did the general public know the military was there? No.
Yeah.
They weren't supposed to.
It was a secret project.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, you know, I think that calls back to the whole Montauk project thing that this is based on.
Yeah.
That we were, you know, looking a little bit into.
Is it the Russo brothers, like, or the Duffer brothers, like, confirm that?
You do realize that the original concept of the show was called
Montauk.
Montauk, yeah.
But that was in that thing we watched. Like, this was actually, like, the Duffer brothers had confirmed that.
No, I'm saying the Stranger Things originally took place in Montauk, New York.
Oh.
Yeah. And I guess, I don't know if like when Netflix came on, they wanted to change it up a little bit.
Make it not a real place?
Yeah, to like separate it a bit from that actual true event. But yeah, it was all based, it's all based on that stuff. But yeah, so with this whole military thing, like I agree with you and I'm fine with that possibly happening. But don't just act like, you know, you can't explain that. Or,
Show it.
Or yeah, like, so as you said with season 1, right? When season 2 opens up, there is context. Hopper talks to the new head of Hawkins' lab.
Yeah.
And it's established that they came to an agreement.
Right.
Even the kids all talk about how like they're not allowed to talk about it. They need to keep it quiet.
Right.
Like, yeah, okay, so why couldn't we show that this time? And I told you it would have been great to bring him back for the series finale to be like, here I am again. I'm cleaning up another mess from another idiot.
Yeah.
You know, like Dr. K, we don't know where she is, but let's just say you're probably never going to find out. You know, like a nice scene like that with Hopper.
Yeah.
Before they jump to the 18 months later thing. Like they could have just cut to Hopper. He's emotional. Elle just died. He's emotional, locked up in a room. No one's around. And he's just like him by himself. And just, you see him like going through all this. And then dunk, dunk, dunk. Walks through the door. We don't see his face. He sits on the other side of the table. Boom, they show him. And he's like, don't worry about anything. It's all taken care of. That's all we need. We didn't even need anything more than that. Yeah. 18 months later, Hawkins is fine. Everybody's back to normal. Yeah. Like, this shit has been covered up before. Yeah. Just, that's all we needed. And you guys wouldn't have had a pothole. Like, would it have been that much money to bring that guy back for one scene, for one day?
I don't know, dude.
I doubt he's as expensive as Millie Bobby Brown is now. True. Yeah, I mean, it's like anything. There's gonna be
people upset.
Yeah.
There's gonna be people who enjoyed it. There would have been an uproar if Steve Harrington was killed.
So?
I'm just saying, people would have been pretty upset.
It's just like
they were
Daenerys.
Appeasing the masses.
It's just like Daenerys.
They were appeasing the masses.
Don't appease people for your story.
Yeah, I know.
This isn't about marketing. This isn't about, by this point, it's the end. So it doesn't matter. And people will flock to your stuff anyway. I mean, maybe not. I don't know. I mean, Game of Thrones is over, but they're still going strong, continuing in universe with new series. House of the Dragon is supposedly successful. They're making a new show now. So it's like, it's not like it's died out. Yeah. People are still interested enough to be watching it that they're making high budget productions. Yeah. So what? Steve Harrington? They couldn't have killed off Steve. Like, think about that last scene without Steve in it, where it's Robin, Jonathan, and Nancy. Oh my God. It would have been a different type of sad.
It would have been a funeral scene. It wouldn't have been a
no, because it was 18 months later.
Scene. I know, but
yeah, but you know, like they could have been sitting there, like, man, you know, if only Steve was here. Blah 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 blah. You know, like talked about him and like Steve the Hair Harrington, right? Yeah. Yeah, you know, and like Jonathan, like, man, you know, I always hated him, but I think it was just the hair. Like, you know, like it just. I don't know, dude. But maybe that's just me. I feel more emotionally attached to my art if the artists are willing to take a chance. Yeah. So, I don't know. But
we're here.
Here?
We're here. We're on the other side of it.
The right side up.
Yeah. As the last episode is called.
Correct. Yeah, but I mean, you know, as I said, like, I don't think we'd be talking about it now or enjoying this conversation as much if we didn't somewhat enjoy the finale. Yeah. You know, like, and that's pretty much been my relationship with Stranger Things throughout its run. You know, like, I think most of the time it was like, oh, I enjoy this. But not like, oh my God, only season 4. Even now, like season 5's over. Season 4 was just, I was hooked on that show. It was That is just my favorite season. I think Henry Creel is one of the most interesting characters ever created.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Even more so now that we know, like, the first shadow and
right. That's why I was so.
The cave.
That's why I was so excited to see that show.
Yeah.
And you know, like, so the cave too. What they pulled back on it in First Shadow. It was talked about and where he got his powers and whatever. But they obviously go more in depth in the finale. Neither of us anticipated that it was going to be an artifact or something. Thought it was just particles or the shadow or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
But also, my favorite part about this whole thing is Henry didn't turn around and say, "Oh, you're right. Woe is me. I'm sympathetic, and now I'm going to help you fight the Mind Flayer." No, he said, "Nope. This is who I am.
Right.
Humanity is lost. The Mind Flayer, the Shadow, whatever you want to call it, showed me the truth." And to me, that's great. That's great because it wasn't like an Anakin Vader thing. You know, like he this is his path. He solidified that he wanted this. Right. And I'm so happy they did that because that was one thing that actually surprised me. Because I told you, I was like, watch, Vecna's not going to die and he's going to flip a switch at the end and help them fight the Mind Flayer.
Nah, I never thought so.
Well, that was the one thing I was surprised about. Yeah. I knew everyone was going to die or was going to live. Yeah. But, yeah. Anyway. Yeah, so couple chats back.
We're here.
Yeah. I don't know what we're exactly going to be touching upon this year, but, you know, do you want to quickly go over some of the reasons why we've been so absent and why we're coming back now?
I think because it seemed before it was so, for us on the back end of it being like, oh, what are we talking about this week? Did we do everything that we set out to do? Like, do we like this structure anymore? As I'm sure a lot of you know who have been following us, like, we've gone through a few different iterations of this, and it's gone to the point where we just want to talk. We just want to chat. Like, it was never meant to be this crazy structured thing, and, like, I feel like every time we have done the structured thing, we've just gotten tired of it. Yeah. Whether it's in the editing room, whether it's in the pre-production of, like, trying to figure out what to talk about or how to talk about it or in what order and filling our time and our space, like, it's been a lot. Yeah. So I think it's really just turned to, we've realized we don't really have the time to just talk about something we enjoyed. So we wanted to set that time aside, and I think that's really where we've kind of settled on the whole idea. Season 3 and maybe beyond, or we'll change it again. Yeah. That's the beauty of being a content creator. We can do what we want. We're
not getting paid to do this, but, you know, as long as we're having fun doing it. And that's what it was, you know. I think you're so right, and especially on my side of things, it was becoming way too overwhelming. And I recently started moving my career into marketing, and I was like, well, you know, we have to turn couple chat into this big marketing thing, and, like, you know, we have to splinter content and put it up this time and blah 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 blah, and it just became a churn. And just too much. I was becoming burnt out, and I knew if I didn't take a step away, it would have been a bigger problem. Yeah. So yeah, I agree with you. Like, even now, like, I don't know how long we've been talking.
A while.
Yeah, a while. Looks like 50 minutes, but I don't even think that's accurate because we've been recorded for so maybe like 40 minutes. But still, that's actually not that bad in consideration to, like, how how long we've talked in other episodes.
Yeah.
But like realistically, just sitting, having a conversation with you, like, yeah, little bit of like fourth wall breaking. We're talking to the audience sometimes, but yeah, I mean, it doesn't need to be super structured. It doesn't need to have like specific moments. Like, we're just chatting as a couple. Like, it's nice. It's nice to just do it that way. And I'm putting away the marketing aspect of this and just having fun with it, putting these out there for whoever finds it, whoever wants to see. Like, yeah, we'll put up some little bits of content, but it's not going to be splintered from episodes. So anything that you guys are listening to or watching right now, you can only watch or listen to it in the full form that's on Spotify or YouTube. Mm-hmm. So, I'm not cutting these episodes up anymore. And I'm not even going to be super picky about it either. Yeah. Like, it's going to go up almost unadulterated, If there's a break where, like we screw up or something like that, like those will be cut out. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be like that. I think if people want to listen to what we have to say, they just want to feel like they're in the room with us.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I'm totally with you, and I also think like we've had a big year
so far. I mean, both kids have been in school. Emma started pre-K. Right. Nate started kindergarten. Like, there's been so much, and then the holidays came, and then we all got the flu, and that was terrible. Terrible couple of weeks there, but it's just been a lot, and I think that starting the new year and making it a point to just let couple chat be more about chatting.
Yeah.
Us as a couple and what's important to us to talk about.
Sure.
Even
and
if
what's
it's
fun.
a half hour. Right.
Yeah.
Like relevant, fun.
Yeah. We knew this was going to be a fun topic. We know it's like, super relevant right now. Mm-hmm. And we really had fun with it this past couple of months. Yeah. It was a good ending to the year. Something to really look forward to in between like the craziness of the holidays. And like you said, I mean, the flu really kicked our butts. Like, it sucked.
Yeah. All of us. Yeah. It was awful.
Yeah. But we're through that, we're all pretty much on the other side of it. A few sniffles and runny noses, but I think we're doing good.
Yeah.
And on the parenting front, we're doing all right. I think it's a struggle. We are struggling with our own issues that we're trying to hopefully get help with. Where we're talking to someone, and Nate has someone that he's
meeting with weekly.
Mm-hmm. So it's helpful. It's helpful to have people in our corner that are helping us out, and yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see how things continue to go.
Yep.
And we'll at least have a topic weekly that you'll know we'll be talking about.
Yes.
Right now, can't tell you what the next topic will be.
Nope.
But I'm sure we'll jump on socials at some point to tell you guys.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Until next time, though, I'm Matt.
I'm Jackie.
Here are the Hahns signing out.
Thank you so much for listening to Couple Chat. Make sure to subscribe to us on Spotify or YouTube Music, and check out our YouTube page to see this episode in video. Thank you to Hahn Films for editing and producing this episode. Talk to you soon.